What's up, guys? Brand new episode of SOS. We're getting your thoughts on a lot of big topics like Bad Bunny being chosen for the Super Bowl halftime show. What do you think? Plus, Ashton Jeanty finally breaks out. We're excited to talk about that. SOS starts right now.
Make some noise. This is Sound Off Sports, sponsored by Silver State Schools Credit Union.
This Bad Bunny performer for the NFL halftime is a joke. Why would they even consider somebody that hardly speaks English and looks like he does when he performs? What a sad halftime it will be. Bye.
Hello and welcome to Sound Off Sports. I'm your host, Mike Davis, joined right now by my main man, James Edward Barrickman IV. James, people are up in arms.
Oh boy.
We have got so many calls. We have your thoughts, your feelings, your take.
Get ready for this. I mean, I was not expecting to get the kind of vitriol and anger that we got in response to this question. I didn't realize people were this mad about it.
What's the question? Well, the question is, did the NFL get it right by naming Bad Bunny the Super Bowl halftime performer? Let's get right to it. We got a lot of calls. James, let's hear the first one.
NFL screwed up again. Bad Bunny. What a joke. At least we can do something at halftime. Go outside, watch something else. Why don't they get somebody good on there for halftime?
Yeah, a lot of people up in arms, a lot of outrage. People are wondering, how did this selection come about?
I mean, he's one of the biggest international superstars in the game right now.
The Super Bowl has become an international kind of internationally recognized situation. The thing is, Rock Nation founder Jay-Z is actually the guy who's booking that halftime entertainment. He's been in charge of that for a little bit now, and a lot of people are thinking maybe it was going to be Taylor Swift, maybe it was going to be Drake, maybe it was going to be Jay-Z or Metallica or Justin Bieber, but we got Bad Bunny. Before we talk a little bit more, let's go to another call.
Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl? Are you kidding me? A demonic Satanist? That represents America? I'm going to boycott it, and anyone that I can talk to will boycott it if he's on the stage. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that call.
Admittedly, I don't...
We don't agree.
I'm out of the game. I'm not the best person to ask when it comes to music, but what did Bad Bunny do to be labeled a demonic Satanist?
I don't even know what that means, to be frank with you. But listen, the guy's very popular, 31 years old. He had a major residency that he did out on the island there. He had a lot of celebrities come up, guys like Jay-Z, I believe, LeBron, Mbappe, Penelope Cruz. So he's going to probably invite a lot of people up there. I think the big thing is people wanted an American act because, you know.
But who? Taylor Swift. They probably wanted Taylor Swift, but I bet you she would. She'd turn it down.
I don't think she would do it. You
right.
know, I mean, I don't know.
Who's your American act? You got something off the top of your head?
I mean, I thought Metallica would be kind
Metallica
of cool,
would be sweet.
I think
yeah,
I would like
100%.
Maybe a classic kind of. We're kind of.
I think that's what a lot of these people mad about Bad Bunny are.
We're starting to lose a lot of those old school classic acts. When we were growing up, you'd have McCartney, Tom Petty,
the Rolling
Stones, like Bruce Springsteen. I think a lot of these people are leaving us, so we should probably get them before they go.
Before it's too late.
You know, but that's just my take on the situation. But let's hear another call.
Hello, Mike. Just want to let you know I think that's a terrible choice for the Super Bowl halftime show. Never even heard of Bad Bunny, and I don't think I'm going to watch the halftime show again this year. We need to get some popular stars and people of recognition in there. Who the hell is Bad Bunny? It should be Mad Bunny.
You know, it's funny. We're getting a lot of these calls, but, you know, the truth is, beyond what you think about his music, he's very popular.
I don't know a single Bad Bunny song, but I know he's very popular.
He's very popular.
Yes.
He does well on streaming. The crazy thing is, the world that we live in now, there is no popular. Everything is niche. Even a guy like Bad Bunny, really, who is major popularity, streaming, top of the streaming charts, all that stuff, is still niche because a lot of the United States and the globe don't know who he is.
My first taste of Bad Bunny was the Happy Gilmore 2 movie. I'm not kidding.
Right.
Like,
And he
I
was great
heard
in
the
that.
name, but I couldn't have told you what he looked like or anything about him really until I watched the Happy Gilmore 2 movie.
And you're, in your 20s, you're
Yeah, I'm
with
28.
it, you know what's going on. So it's just our world has become a lot more niche rather than everybody knowing, a Beatles tune. It's just not how the world is anymore. And the Super Bowl halftime show is a great representation of that. Let's go to another call. We got so many.
Bad Bunny was a terrible choice. We could have so many better artists that at least speak English. This is an American football game. We don't need a bilingual or a Spanish-speaking artist to control the halftime show. Biggest show in the world, and we go with Bad Bunny. There's so many better options.
Well, there's the thing right there, okay? He said, biggest show in the world,
Right.
and you picked Bad Bunny. Right. Biggest show in the world, you picked one of the biggest international superstars.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
And we're seeing the NFL, they're making a big effort to go international. We've seen the first game of the season, right? Where was that? Brazil.
Brazil,
We
you
just
got
had a game in
Ireland.
Ireland.
Yeah.
There's games in Germany. There's games in England. So, I mean, the NFL has the United States locked down.
They've been making a concerted effort for years to go global, and I think choosing Bad Bunny to do the halftime show of the Super Bowl is just another aspect of that.
It's really fascinating, and I think it's one of those things that is probably trying to attract a lot of a younger audience, I would assume, as well. Let's go to one more call.
They made the right decision. Bad Bunny is life.
All right, so we got a positive one there. Bad Bunny is life.
That
Listen,
was rare.
Bad Bunny, I implore everybody to go check him out. I mean, his Tiny Desk
At least give him
concert
an opportunity.
is good. Yeah, he's talented. Like, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people because he does have a lot of charisma. He is cool. It is just going to be one of those things. This is a totally different flavor. And I think people are actually going to enjoy it. He is a good showman. But I do think it's just there are a lot of other options that still haven't got. We used to have The Who. It used to be like an incredible opportunity to see somebody you would maybe never see perform.
You kind of had to be a long-time legend of the game.
Exactly.
To get this opportunity. And Bad Bunny, massively popular, but
Right.
I wouldn't call him a music legend.
Right. And I think people started even getting upset when we started seeing the Shakiras and the J-Los. Like, they're not at the level of a Prince or a Tom Petty or a Bruce Springsteen or a Paul McCartney. So there's been a shift.
I think people might disagree with you on that one.
For other reasons, probably.
Potentially.
For other reasons. All right, one more call we got. Let's hear it.
The NFL did not make the right decision on picking Bad Bunny. They should have picked a country singer like Morgan Wallen or Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, you know what? It's an interesting call because I feel like country music is so hot right now.
Yeah.
It's almost like the biggest genre, I would say, of music.
It's really caught in fire here, I would say, over the last 5 years or so. And I think a lot of that has been spearheaded by people like Morgan Wallen, Chris Stapleton, and other guys.
Yeah, if somebody said to me, hey, make a bet what genre you think they're going to go for the halftime show, I would have said, country.
You'd have bet country for this coming year?
Yeah, I would have said it's going to be a Morgan Wallen, it's going to be a Chris Stapleton, it's going to be, even a Post Malone doing like a country
Post would
kind
be
of,
sweet. Yeah.
Vibe. So to me, I would have thought that's the angle that they go, but we'll see what happens with this. Bad Bunny is definitely a talented dude. We'll see what he can do and if he can bring the NFL community together on Super Bowl Sunday. After the break, guys, we have a really interesting conversation with Alexis Robinson, somebody who's a Vegas local doing a lot for the sports community here in Vegas. We'll talk to her after the break.
I think I will not be even watching your Super Bowl because of your nonsense. Every year you have nonsense at halftime, so you can keep your football game. Good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome here inside the Den, Fox 5, Sound Off Sports. Mike Davis here with you. I am so excited to have a media mate. This person does a little bit of everything. It's actually hard for me to even do an introduction. A college athlete, played tennis. She plays piano. She says she can't sing. I think she can sing. She's a media maven. She's worked with all different types of people when it comes to sports branding, all these different types of deals. We're talking Travis Kelce, so many different guys, NBA players, DeAnthony Melton, I saw so many different types of people. And now Alexis Robinson is here joining us here in the Den for Sound Off Sports. Alexis, it's great to finally make this happen.
Yes.
With you. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You have such a fascinating story. Las Vegas, born and raised girl.
Yes.
Henderson girl. You played tennis. You played a little bit of everything, basketball. You were even the president of a German club, and you don't speak German. So you're just one of these people, you can do everything.
I try, at least. So, yeah. But, I mean, why not? I think that's the cool thing about being from Las Vegas is we're a melting pot of everything. So I was just taken to trying anything and everything.
Okay, and we're going to learn all about your career, everything that you're doing here in Las Vegas. Of course, you're now with BDG Sports. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think a lot of people are familiar with, of course, when Duke and Gonzaga come here for showdowns, all these different events you guys put on throughout the country. What are you doing with them full-time right now?
Yes, so I do everything on the marketing and branding side. I started doing social media and PR with them for games like Duke and Gonzaga when it came here and stuff. And 8+ years later, they just decided, you know what, you just need to come on full time. And they took my client roster and my projects with me. So that's been the best part. So they get to help me with my NBA and WNBA projects. And then I get to help them with big games like, you know, we have a bunch of games in the Bahamas this year. We're going to Nashville. We have Arkansas, in Dallas that yeah. So we have a lot of stuff on the agenda. We have some stuff coming up here too. We are coming back to throw some big events. And yeah, I mean, I just really lucked out with a company that they're all sports lovers like me, and we get to just make really cool things happen.
And of course, you know, you've traveled all across the country for your career, for school. You played tennis at Utah Tech. You spent a lot of time at Oklahoma. But now it's cool because as a born and raised Las Vegan, you get to see how sports has grown in this city, and you're really playing a big part in it. Not only just, you know, developing Aces fantasy camps, the pickleball slam we saw with Steffi and Andre Agassi that just happened at Mandalay Bay. You know, all these things are something you're a part of. You're bringing to the community that you grew up in. Can you tell us? Because for me, I've been here 6 years. I'm not really, you know, I'm a baby. I'm an infant when it comes to sports in Las Vegas. Tell us what it was like as a sports fan growing up. Your dad played professional basketball. Your uncle, John Lucas, professional tennis and basketball player, University of Maryland guy. So, you know, what has it felt like? All right, to hear the full conversation with Alexis, go to our YouTube page, Silver State Sports.
You're watching Sound Off Sports, sponsored by Silver State Schools Credit Union.
Does Ashton Jeanty have a shot at Rookie of the Year? At JBravo15 on X says, if he had a middling O-line, no question.
All right, welcome back to SOS. Here we go. 21 carries, 138 yards, 1 touchdown rushing, and 2 receiving. That's what Ashton Jeanty did on Sunday facing the Bears. James, we've been waiting for Ashton Jeanty to finally pop off like this. 21 carries. First time he got more than 20 carries in a game this season, and he ties the rookie record for most TDs in a single game. Are you a believer now in Ashton Jeanty and his talent?
I was never not a believer of Ashton Jeanty.
You didn't like the pick, though.
I didn't like the pick because of their own line. I think you need to solidify your offensive line before you go for the game-breaking running back. But who knows? Maybe the Raiders can turn this thing into a top 15 O-line in one offseason. They're still not there yet. But Sunday versus Chicago, they finally opened up some holes for him. They finally got him some room to run in space, and we got to see Jeanty get those one-on-one matchups versus defenders in space where he doesn't lose those. I mean, if you've watched him these first 3 games and all through his time at Boise, he doesn't lose a one-on-one matchup in space with a defender. So it was great to be able to finally see him get an opportunity to really showcase his talents and showcase some of that contact balance that we had been, hoping we would see at the NFL.
The thing I don't get is I just don't get the haters of him.
Who's hating on Ashton?
You're telling me Ryan Clark, national media members, and certain people are saying he's not special. To me, it's fascinating because I think he's very special. You take a look at him, you see him run the ball, he looks different than 80% of running backs running the ball. I mean, he just does. You don't agree?
He reminds me more, when I think special, and I use this name a lot, when I think special in terms of the running back position, I think Saquon Barkley, I think Barry Sanders, and those types of players. Ashton Jeanty, as good as he is, doesn't remind me of any of those guys. And I'm not talking about stylistically. I'm kind of talking about what Ryan Clark was saying in terms of it factor. But I think on Sunday, we finally saw that it factor from Jeanty, and it's you cannot bring him down on the first half.
Yeah, I mean, he has an it factor, and whether you want to say, listen, Saquon might be once in a generation. There's other guys who have the it factor that are special.
All I'm saying is
I don't want to get into semantics, but Derrick Henry's special, right? When you see him run the ball as opposed to somebody else.
I don't think Derrick Henry, but I am very much in the minority on my thoughts on Derrick Henry. I get blasted for this all the time. I think Derrick Henry has struggled to move laterally, and in his entire career, if you let him get to the second level untouched, of course, he's gone. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster than these defensive backs. But if you kind of force him to go laterally at or around the line of scrimmage, he is not nearly as effective. That's just my opinion on Derrick Henry.
I think Ashton Jeanty, we're going to see a lot more of what we saw on Sunday. The fascinating wrinkle to this whole thing is, if you remember, when he was at Boise, he had a very fascinating, unique stance in the backfield prior to getting the handoff. He kind of had this stance where he would stand up. People are calling it like the Michael Myers Halloween stance. And Chip Kelly, when he came to the Raiders and got drafted, said, hey, listen, that's not what we do in the NFL. You're going to have to bend down and put your hands on your knees and get ready to take that handoff. But what happened on the game he broke out? He reverted back to what he did in college, and he busted out. So, I mean,
do you believe that actually had something to do with his?
I do.
I don't buy that.
You don't think so? You're telling me.
I think it had everything to do with the O-line finally giving him some room to run against a bad Chicago Bears.
I'm not saying it's the
defense.
only part of the equation, but you're telling me if you're an elite level athlete,
maybe he was more comfortable pre-play. Now, sure, yeah,
like maybe it got him in the right headspace. You don't know. I mean, that's why I was.
But I think the overwhelming factor in his performance on Sunday was the fact that the O-line finally moved some people. Again, a bad Chicago Bears defense got him into some space and also threw him the ball in space. You saw that on that third touchdown.
Got him involved. I mean, he was getting 17 carries, 14 carries, 16 carries. He finally got 21 carries. You got to give him the rock. You got to let him see what he can do in space. We got all these playmakers. You got to let them do their thing.
Do you think, last thing here, do you think he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year? You got to make a bet right now. Is Ashton Jeanty winning Rookie of the Year?
I'm going to say he will, and he's going to keep this up.
I'm going to say no, Emeka Egbuka. I think Ashton Jeanty has some splash performances here and there, but at the end of the day, this is still a bad O-line.
Right now, it would be Egbuka. It definitely would be.
Give me Egbuka or Hampton before Jeanty. Those are my two.
But I'm hoping Jeanty keeps this going, and we see what happens there. Guys, coming up after a short break, it's time for Sink or Swim.
Does Ashton Jeanty have a shot at Rookie of the Year? Casey Killian on Facebook says, if you judge off one game, still no. Just stop with this.
All right, welcome back. It's time for Sink or Swim. James and I are going to break down our picks 4 weeks into the season of the NFL, heading into Week 5. Who we're still taking for our Super Bowl picks. Knowing what we know now, I think a lot of people were big on the Ravens. They look bad.
Year after year, people are big on the Ravens, and year after year, Lamar disappoints in the playoffs. I've never been a Ravens Super Bowl.
It's a good organization.
Great organization.
Good head coach, good GM. I mean, they draft well, they develop well, they got a great roster.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, they're sitting in a bad hole.
They're going to get it figured out. Well, if Lamar misses time, who knows? I mean, what, Cooper Rush is their backup?
Yeah.
If Lamar misses time, who knows?
If he's out 2 or 3 weeks, it could be really difficult for them to be in a good playoff spot. But right now there's 2 teams left that are undefeated. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills, and I think they have to be your Super Bowl picks at this point because they can just beat you in so many different ways. These 2 teams look like teams, even if they're not playing their best, even if things are not going their way, they find ways to win. And I think they find ways to win on special teams, defense, offense, all different types of ways. And I think the run game, when you have Cook and Josh Allen playing the way that they're playing and what they can do to a defense, I think they're a tough out. And I think it's the same thing with the Eagles. We've seen the Eagles struggle to run the football the same way they did last year with Saquon Barkley. But Jalen Hurts is coming alive, and when he needs to throw the ball, he's showing people he can do that. But what's your 2?
I think that second half of the Rams game really woke up the Eagles. I don't know if right now they would be – they look like the best team right now. I don't know if they saw the Rams again, if they would beat the Rams head-to-head. I'm going to go Rams and McVay to the Super Bowl out of the NFC, and I'm picking Buffalo.
Yeah.
Out of the AFC, although the way Kansas City looked against Baltimore, now that they have Worthy back, Rice is going to be back in the fold. It looked like vintage Mahomes. Are we going to see the Chiefs of old where they're scoring 28, 35, 42 points a game? And if we do, down the stretch, I do think Buffalo's in trouble because they are so reliant on Josh Allen and his talent.
Yeah, I think the 2 issues for the Chiefs is, 1, they don't seem to be getting to the quarterback the same way that they used to. And number 2, they can't run the ball at all. So that's going to be something they got to figure out. But we'll see what happens as we're entering Week 5. I want to thank you all for joining us here on Sound Off Sports. As always, make sure you give us your calls. Give us your thoughts, your takes. We heard them earlier. There were so many good ones this week. 702-855-3502. Until next time, for Jess, for James, I'm Mike Davis. We'll see you next time here in the Den for Sound Off Sports.